And the freshman 8 is just off the line. In the first 20 strokes, as you'd expect, fairly even, with Michigan popping its bow out about 2 seats in front of Grand Valley and Michigan State. Michigan's 2F also up in there, and Notre Dame now moving up. Michigan MSOE falling back just a little bit. There is some steering happening from the referees between Notre Dame and MSOE. And as we come to 250 in, Michigan has about 6 seats on Grand Valley and Michigan State, who are even, with Notre Dame about a seat behind them. Michigan's second freshman about 3 seats back of that, 2 or 3 seats up on MSOE. So now that the crews are starting to hit their base, we'll see where the speed really is. The Michigan freshmen are just inching out a little bit with every stroke, trying to break the bow balls of Michigan State and Grand Valley, who are pretty even stroke for stroke. There was a slight disaster for MSOE with a crab that stopped the boat, so they're fully out of the race. Up and running again now, but they'll be trailing this the rest of these crews. So we have a pretty nice chevron going in the first 5 crews. Michigan moving out, but not quite breaking Michigan State and Grand Valley. And then the Michigan 2F and Notre Dame racing, with the Michigan 2F coming up a little bit. We've had to drop back just a little bit for MSOE, so it's hard to look straight on. The ratings are all about even in these lead 5 boats. Michigan at a 35. And Michigan State now putting a move to break up, to move up on Grand Valley and trying to push back into Michigan. And they're moving fairly nicely. And the Michigan 2F moving up into Grand Valley. The very racy Michigan 2F, they're like that on the water a lot, at a 33. So right now, coming up into the 1,000-meter point, a pretty sort of strung out race for first and second. The race between Grand Valley and Michigan for third is a scorcher. The Michigan crew a little bit more composed with their blade work, down at about a 32. Grand Valley flopping a little bit, but pulling really quite hard at about a 33. This Michigan State freshman crew is not going to go away. It's still bow to stern, Michigan over Michigan State, but the Michigan State crew 33 rolling very composed and working their way back in, getting their bow ball back up into Michigan a little bit. The Michigan Frosh at a nice long 34, Michigan State at 32. So a little bit more efficient Michigan State crew. And now in third and fourth, Michigan 2F has moved up on Grand Valley, almost now bow to stern, and they're working their way to try and get their bow ball back into Michigan State. So it's been sitting here. We're through 12:50, just over 4 minutes. And now Michigan 1F is putting a little lift in, is breaking out a little bit of open water on Michigan State. Michigan State is pulled away from the Michigan 2F. Michigan 2F bow to stern up on Grand Valley. And Notre Dame has dropped back fairly significantly. MSOE is still trailing. Grand Valley putting a little push here into the Michigan State, the Michigan 2F. And as we come through the 1500, Michigan has opened up about half a length of open water, just under 5 minutes going through 1500. Michigan State about 5 seconds back. And Grand Valley pushing up into the Michigan 2F. Again, another seat or two, but there's a fair amount of water for control. It'll see who has a sprint. Maybe they can move something. But other than that, as we come in close to about 400 meters to go, the Michigan freshmen are opening up and walking away. Michigan State, much improved over some past years, and with their freshmen, big strong crew pushing hard, and they're sort of rolling in the no man's land of second place, clearly in front of Michigan's 2F. The Michigan 2F has put a big move to move back out on Grand Valley. Grand Valley is trying to throw a sprint, really pushing very, very hard, but Michigan's 2F is able to hold them off. Very nice long rowing from both Michigan State 1F boats. Both boats looking pretty composed, nice blade work, good leg push, lots of power. And the Michigan freshmen are going to win this. They're about 5 strokes away from the finish. Michigan State will be second. Michigan's 2F will be third. Grand Valley will be fourth. That was really the race up front. Those crews within about 3 or 4 lengths of each other, second, third, and fourth. Then Notre Dame about 5 to 6 lengths behind, and MSOE still not really having recovered from a crab in the first 500 meters. So Michigan's over the line, Michigan State is over the line, Michigan's 2F is over the line, and Grand Valley is over the line. Notre Dame trailing in, and MSOE with about 200 meters to go. So a pretty good race, some very nice pushy hard rowing up in the front, and a little bit of jockeying for position. So this is Notre Dame's 3V pushing out on the Ohio State 2V. Notre Dame varsity crews really a lot better than they have been. This is they have a very, very strong junior class that won the ACRA championship as freshmen, and they've really set a new standard for that program.